Hey guys, it's me Parker. Welcome to my channel. This is a collective reading for the full moon in Pisces on September 1st or 2nd, depending where you are in the world. Um, this new moon's really, or full moon is really interesting because we have a lot of energies at play that are kind of syncing up with this. We have a lot of fire going on, a lot of Mars is in Aries. So we have, and Chiron is in Aries. Chiron's retrograding. Mars is about to retrograde. I'm not going to get too into that, but we do have the South Node in Sag and um, Leo energy as well. Mercury, I believe, is just about to, or is just came out of Leo, sorry, but Venus is about to enter Leo. So there's still some of that Leo energy at play, especially from that new moon. Um, Heading into Virgo season, which we're in now, but there's a lot of fire. So in the Leo new moon readings, I had talked about a lot of people kind of acting out of, Leos have a lot of passion. They have huge hearts. They're very loyal and they kind of expect that in return. They're the lion, they're proud, right? But there's a lot of fire going on right now. And at the same time, we have this Piscean energy. Neptune is you know, uh, Pisces ruler. It's the planet of like illusion and fantasy and like the subconscious, kind of, in a sense. It's a very fantastical planet, but it is retrograding in Pisces, and the moon in Pisces. So that kind of lends itself to a lot of really, I'm just getting a lot of fantastical fantasy energy off this new moon, which is great. But we also have Uranus retrograding in Taurus, which kind of lends towards like overindulgence, and, physicality, things that feel good, and with all that fire and like passion, um, you know, Pisces can be a very indulgent, again, fantastical sign. Connecting to, all that fire energy in the sense of like the heart space and passion, because Piscean qualities, they're very loving and compassionate. So there's a lot of that at play with like desire, but fantasy. Like I'm getting a lot of fantasy energy from this full moon. Particularly with Neptune retrograding in Pisces right now. It's funny because we're in Virgo season. We actually have a Virgo new moon coming up on September 17th. So that's the energy that we're heading into. But it's funny because we have all this Virgo energy, and Virgo and Pisces are the sevenths of each other. They're opposite signs, and it's the axis of service and hospitality. So Virgos Virgos serve in the physical. They're very much so the sign of hospitality in terms of like service to others. And Pisces are very similar, but where Virgos are very practical, they're oriented towards like practical details. Pisces is more of like, it's all the signs, it's the end of the cycle, so it's more like details in the sense of like intuition and a broader perspective, servicing spirituality and, our feels and our intuition. So with that being said, there's definitely, it is hospitality access of compassion and spiritual nature, and compassion and grounding that in the physical, showing up for others, grounding that physically. So there's a huge emphasis on our health at this time, especially with that indulgent energy with the Uranus and Taurus and all that fire, right? So definitely our health, whether it be our pure physical health on the Virgo end of the axis, or translating to like our emotional and spiritual health on the Pisces end, is really impacted at this time because the sun is in Virgo, Mercury's in Virgo. There's a lot of that energy grounding it, but there's also that fantastical energy playing out on the Pisces end, right? So One thing I said in the Leo new moon readings was that there's a lot of this untamed desire kind of at play, and that was being sort of birthed through that new moon. And we've been working with that energy kind of coming to a culmination of, I'm just getting a lot of fantasy heavy energy, whether that's leaning towards the end of fantasies. Again, full moons are culminations and endings of cycles. Wrapping up or, coming to fruition, culminating, right? So some of that, desire energy that was birthed with that Leo new moon is coming to fruition or coming to an ending now. And then we're moving into the Virgo new moon, which is like new cycles, like being birthed into practicality in the physical. So yeah, it's very interesting energy. I'm excited to see what cards are gonna come out. I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. There's a lot of other stuff going on astrologically right now, but I'll probably do an energy shift reading for that because we have a lot of really interesting stuff coming up with the planets in retrograde going direct, and that like pretty much at the same time that Mars is going retrograde. So it's very interesting energy. But yeah, we'll see what comes out. I will not be surprised if the Bat card comes out because that kept coming up when I was shuffling. That's funny. That was in the Pisces reading this week. Yeah, so let's see what comes out. The Bat card is like the death card of the animal, the wild unknown animal spirit deck. We'll see what comes out. It's very much so a card of nighttime and feeling in the dark, waiting for dawn. I saw the moon, was it last night or the night before? It was so pretty. There's an app I want to get on my phone that like you hold it up to the sky and it like shows you like where the planets are in real time, and I really, really want to. There's that Bat card. I want to get that because it was like lined up with, I don't know, probably Venus. I don't know, it was really bright. Ooh, whoa, okay, horse, that's interesting. Let's see if that comes out. That's just my guess, by the way. I have no clue what planet that was. Ooh, feminine lunar energy. All right, one more shuffle. The collective. Oh, itchy nose. What animals, totems are working with the collective for this new moon or full moon? I don't know why I keep saying that. Also, amethyst might be beneficial at this time. This amethyst cluster usually lives like over there in the corner of my room, and it like called at me and was like, hey, and I was like, okay, you can come hang out. This reading is like right there. But yeah, amethyst is always great. It's like the universal healing stone next to quartz pretty much. Also, rose quartz is really great. Pisces are a very feeling sign, and Venus is still in Cancer, so there's a lot of emphasis on relationships, again, that hospitality access, service to self and others. And rose quartz is really, really great for healing the heart space. I actually had a dream the other night where the clouds opened up and it was like rose quartz healing me. It was great. It's very beautiful. Beautiful. All right, collective. Whoa. Holy shit. Okay. This kind of flew out upside down. The crow. Okay, interesting. The horse. It did come out. I love this card. The bee in reverse. These are interesting energies. So let's start with the bee in reverse here. The bee card is like very hardworking energy. Again with that fantastical energy, getting this is like upright. It's like it can be very practical. It's very hardworking. It's a bee, right? Like it goes along. It does its thing. It's an optimistic card. It's a happy card. But in reverse, bees sting, right? So if they get agitated, they sting. Which is funny because the underlying energy here is the Scorpion card. Both of these cards kind of relate to someone who's very hardworking and driven. This one particularly is a card of someone who's very isolated and dedicated to their career, and has been possibly scorned, stung, like that bee in reverse energy. They're both cards of oh sorry, it was in reverse. They're both cards of like getting stung or being burned, right? Maybe a bit cynical or reluctant to open up or share your truth, or feeling like you're not appreciated. So we'll see why that's coming out. There's a lot of work. Like, this is interesting that, like, this is a very free card, but the horse is a very driven, very, there's the moon there as well. I can't remember if this speaks to lunar cycles in this deck or not. But the horse, it's a horse. It carries the load. It's full of freedom and what's the word? I'm hearing durability with this. Like, this is a very hardworking energy, like very hardworking energy. And this, a horse will carry you for hundreds of miles and not complain, right? So it's interesting that this is coming out. It's a very free, passionate energy. So I'm curious to clarify that. The lunar feminine coming out on the bottom. This is all about nothing to fear, being the huntress, like the master. It's like apex predator, right? But it's like the lunar feminine energy with dolphin underneath that. That's very nice. Spiritual energy there with the buffalo. That's like the buffalo is very humble energy, but it's like content in the sense that there's like a sense of knowing with the buffalo. He's very steadfast, kind of like the horse. Yeah. This is interesting energy though, so we'll clarify that. We did have the sea serpent come out in reverse. The sea serpent. This is our sacral chakra in this deck. The signs all relate to elements or the animals, and then there's the fifth element of ether, spirit, relating to the seven chakras, and this one is the sacral chakra. So the sacral chakra is, it's like our sex center, but it's also like desire, like where we birth desire from. So with that untamed, with that horse energy, that untamed desire, this is definitely leading towards like with that hardworking energy and being burned and being stung. This in reverse, like, is just kind of screaming, like, especially with that, like, indulgent energy at play. It's funny that I mentioned the rose quartz, because in my dream, I actually had some sacral chakra healing from that rose quartz, which I wasn't going to mention because it's super, super personal. But since this is coming out in reverse, I'm going to mention that. Maybe a need for some energy clearing or grounding with that horse energy. Not like getting caught up too much in the fantastical and the indulgence, right? Particularly sexual, with that sacral and reverse energy. And I just felt the need to point out that rose quartz healing on my sacral chakra. Very interesting. The crow. This is speaking to that, like, Piscean quality is it can be quite psychic and intuitive, right? It's the oldest water sign. The water is, flow. It flows. It's our emotions. It's our intuition. It's our psyche. And there's a lot of that with Cancer going on as well. Yeah, because Venus is still in Cancer, and that's the divine feminine aspect, right? We all have masc and femme within us. So that's just how we're receiving energy, right? So I'm curious, but the crow holds divine knowledge. It is a psychic card. It's like knowing the past, present, and future at once. So for elements here, we have earth, We have ether, we have air twice, fire, more earth, more fire, and then finally with that dolphin energy, water. So, okay, let's get into this. I want to clarify this B here. Oh, and on this note with the sacral healing, again, with health, that's speaking to sexual health as well. I already mentioned like our physical health, that's part of physical health. And our spiritual health and mental health as well. There's a lot of air here. But sexual health as well is highlighted at this time. The Virgo. All right, so let's look at this B in reverse. I'm going to use the Chakra Wisdom deck on this, get something more specific. Why the stung energy? Impatience. Yeah, the bee is a very optimistic, hardworking energy. The scorpion's more of like a loner, it's a scorpion, right? Pretty badass, like both very hard-driven energy, especially with that horse energy. For sure, hard work. Why is the bee in reverse? It's with this stung energy. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is hugely impacted at this time, or important at this time for sure. I know a lot of the cycles that I am working with right now are revolving around forgiveness. Pisces is a very compassionate sign through experience. All right, tell me about the bee in reverse, please. Why is the bee in reverse? For the collective, for the Pisces full moon. Bee in reverse. Bee in reverse. Okay. Ooh, impartiality. Ooh. Again, not feeling appreciated. Some of you, for the collective, I'm feeling like hard work not being appreciated, impartiality. It's just not being seen, or if you feel like it's not being seen or taken for granted. Gossip. Ooh. Gossip. Okay. Ooh, renewal of passion though. So for some of you, like this hardworking energy, feeling like you haven't been appreciated, or people have been very, again, not seeing the worth and the hard work you're putting into something. There's a renewal here of passion that's beautiful, which can be like the horse is a very passionate energy. Like it's very, it's free, it's a horse, right? It's dependable as well. And in order to be dependable like that, and free in doing so without expectations, especially from others, we have to have passion in what we're doing. And the horse is a very passionate energy. So I'm seeing a revival here of passion, which again, with all that fire energy, that's totally what that is. With the full moon culminating, for some of you that can look like a revival of passion, especially when we close out cycles where we were getting stung, we weren't being appreciated for the fruit, like our labor, our efforts, right? It's funny though, like with this impartiality energy, I'm not getting a heck of a lot off that. Yeah, again with that Scorpion card, it's like a reluctance to open up, and with that indulgent, fantastical energy, there is a tendency to lean towards just like being impartial, or just like fantasizing in La La Land, that fantasy energy, right? Not looking at you know, this speaks directly in the artist's interpretation of the spirit of this animal totem, speaks to someone who is unwilling or reluctant to speak their truth about what's bothering them, because they've been burned, or you know, they'd much rather stay isolated or impartial. But it is a call to speak your truth, especially with that crow energy, and be free in doing so, right? With that horse energy, and it says in the deck, so you can get back to your fiery, fun self, or in this situation with others with that passion and that renewal energy. So clarify the bee in reverse with impartiality. For the collective for Pisces full moon, please. Bee in reverse. 2 more shuffles for the collective for the Pisces full moon. Be with impartiality. Page of Cups, Piscean. Ooh, look at that. Pisces. Pisces. This is all about passion. Oh, look. King of Cups on the bottom. Walking towards passion. There's this renewal of passion here. The King and Queen of Wands, I kept seeing that come out when I was shuffling. And the King and Queen of Wands is like a very passionate energy. It's fire itself, right? It's, you know, it's very much so like this horse energy. You know, they are hardworking. They're great manifestors. They're very charismatic. You know, and if that's not, like, fire signs don't do well. Remember what I was saying with that Leo energy is they're very loyal and they expect that in return. They don't do well when people are damping out their fire, right? And look at this, that's totally like that stinger, that's fire, the element of fire, right? Really needing to like own your passion, right? Wow. Ooh. Okay. So here's that hardworking bee energy, right? This is literally the card of hard work and focus and determination. A lot of focus on something. Again, with that not feeling appreciated, people, impartial energy. You've been putting a lot of hard work and focus into something. And there's a tower moment, you know, so that being burned, like, look at that. It's like the stinger on the scorpion, but again, in this card, it relates to someone who's been burned, but that stinger is actually their pent up, like, need to communicate and return to a balanced fire state. With that Page of Cups and Knight of Cups, that's a very honest communication, pure with that renewal energy. Pisces. So a tower moment here, that could be, you know, that's another thing about this bee card, right? Is with the bee, if the bee is not being appreciated for their hard work, they get agitated. Think of a bee, right? And they sting with that stinger. And I'm just seeing that as the tower. So yeah, we'll clarify the tower, but definitely, you know, a tower moment for some of you. But here's the star again with that not being appreciated energy. So I'm just seeing a lot of like, you know, and there's a lot going on for people right now. People are really in their heads with all this mercurial energy. We've got Gemini North Node, which is like the energy that's affecting the whole collective right now, which is mercurial, thought-based, very thought-based energy, idea forming. And then Virgo, all that Virgo mercurial energy as well. People are really in their heads, right? They might not be aware of everything that you're doing for yourself or them or the situation, or, you know, that is probably where that's stemming from. We'll clarify the star. I want to get more on that. Aquarian energy, scorpionic energy. A lot of scorpionic energy with this tower, just saying. So we'll clarify these. What was underneath? Oh, yeah. Page of Wands. A lot of communication on the bottom. Alright, let's clarify the Eight of Pentacles. That our bees have been so diligently working on. I mean, that's going to look different for all of you, right? I just heard threatened. Something's threatened. Again with that Tower, yeah. Right? Wow, King to the Queen of Swords here. Interesting. There's that Mercurial and Aquarian energy. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles. I just heard you may be shifting your focus elsewhere as well. Whoa, okay. Wow. 7 to the 8. Yeah, okay, so the 7 to the 8. This is like kind of a holding pattern energy, sort of, in the sense that like you're just over halfway through the Pentacles cycle towards your 10 from the 1. And now is when you stop and you think about what you're investing in, which is totally that bee energy of like, are these people investing in me? They seem kind of impartial. They don't seem like they really give a fuck. But it's interesting because, and this is so very personal to all of you, right? The Scorpion does indicate career. We are an earth energy, so that is very present right now. But with that sacral energy, it's just anything that you're passionate about, right? The Scorpion and the Horse are two very passionate energies. So, again, for some of you, this is shifting your focus elsewhere. And I'm almost getting an Ace. I did see the Ace of Pentacles, but, like, shifting your focus to something else because,